What's up, guys? It's Andrew Peer here of AT Production. Today we're gonna be going over on how to make a DJ L, Lil Bibby, Lil Herb style beat. Now before we get started, and before I play the beat, well, up about half of the beat we're gonna play. It would be awesome if you guys could go check out Dub T's song called Paper Chase. The official audio track is on my page on YouTube. You could also just go in the description of this video where you will find the link to that song. I produced a song as well as manage Dub T. Now, Dub T's from the same area where I'm from. Well, same city, but not the same area exactly. But Dub T, if you guys like Lil Herb, not so much Lil Durk, but like Lil Herb, Chief Keef, Gucci Mane style, he's really similar to those guys, but still very unique in the guy's story. His personal stories, rough. I mean, the dude's crazy. He goes crazy on the tracks. One of the most talented artists I know. So it would be awesome if you guys could go check out that song. We got more coming out. So Paper Chase is just a little taste of it. We got some way better tracks and even hot tracks. So this one, give a little promo for him. So anyways, back to the tutorial. We're making a DJ L type beat. Now we're gonna play up to right here. I haven't decided if I'm gonna put this beat out for free or if I'm gonna charge, but we'll see. So if you guys ever want this beat or exclusive rights, just contact me. But we're going to be going over on how we created this beat at AT Productions.
Beat it, AT.
So that's pretty much it. It's nothing crazy in my opinion. So I'm probably just gonna toss out the beat for free. Promotion, promo use, some mixtape use, and etc. etc. If you guys want exclusive rights, just contact me. But anyways, I'm not trying to sell this. We're trying to break it down for you guys. So let's go to the intro part. Intro, most trap songs even use around like 140. It's just like I don't know the exact reasoning. I think it's because like a lot of the original trap producers didn't have a lot of since 140 is a generic default tempo for Fruity Loops. I think that's the reason why. So it's like automatic, but who knows. But anyways, this is what we got for the intro. That's a producer tag. Doesn't really matter. We got these gunshots. Now, gunshots are really common, especially with DJ L, and he also has that girl vocal. So we just have this little gun. Put it in the mixer trap. Did a multi-band compressor, reverb, parametric EQ, and a little bit of a delay. So it kind of echoes. Then this one's just, that's all it is. So these are two different gun tracks. Now the piano, we have two different pianos. The chord, this, like these chords. Piano, nebula, boom, pretty easy. I believe I turned down the mix for both the delay and reverb, and I tossed it down on the fifth one, parametric EQ. I mean, we could have tossed down a couple compressors and done a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo, limiter, blah blah blah. But it's a trap beat. I mean, we don't have to put a whole bunch of talent behind a trap beat. In reality, now, piano 2, you can see we actually really only have 3 instruments, and we have a bell. But piano 2 is piano, distorted piano strings. So this is actually kind of like a note structure, but it's really just a loop. So you see. Piano 2, just another parametric equalizer to equalize out the bad frequencies in the lower region. The reason why we do that is we allow more space for the 808 to hit in. That's the main reason why we cut out a lot of the lower end frequencies. We don't want the different frequencies to clash. That's how you get these muddy mixes. A lot of people don't tell you that in tutorials. So I know a lot of people tell me, you talk too much, takes too long, we could have been done discussing. Well, okay, yeah, you could have been done, and we could have went through this and just show you what, like a copy paste method of where we just show you everything we did. But is that really a tutorial? That's really just showing off what you made. So that's not a tutorial, that's being a half-ass teacher. So I actually like to explain to you guys some reasoning. Now, both of these, the piano one, same thing, cutting at the low end. Don't cut out too much. Sometimes we cut out a little too much, in my opinion, but it's whatever. Now, here we got 2 different parts on the chorus. Now, hypothetically, this might really be the main chorus, where like the artist would repeat whatever like the song title is. So let's say the song title was killing stuff or gang shit. I guess I was trying to avoid cursing, but gang shit. So gang shit. So like that's where that part would probably be, and this part would be sort of more of like, I don't know, lyrics. But I mean, at the end of the day, the rapper has pretty much ultimate decision on where he wants things to go, kind of. It just depends on how you operate in the studio, honestly. Now, here's the gun. Here's another gun pattern. Now, this gun pattern is used the rest of the beat. And you can see, oops, didn't mean to do that, but here's, so pretty much we did actually some panning, and then on this one we raised it up to E5. So if we were going to go to note pan, so and I was noticing when I was listening to some of DJ L's beats that it sounded like it was panning, or like at least some of the shots sounded like they're either echoing or just going from one, they're on one speaker and another one was in the other speaker. I don't know for sure, but that's what I heard. I could just perceived it a little bit different. But let's go to the mixer channel, gun. We got a multi-band compressor, reverb, parametric equalizer. Parametric equalizer, just just cut out a little bit. Delay. We really tuned down the delay a lot. We didn't want like too much delay, because then it like starts, the gunshots start to go into the next gunshot, and it starts to sound pretty goofy. Now, since we have a lot of our keys in A4, D sharp, G, D, A sharp, it was a key thing to keep our bells as well in A4, D sharp, A sharp. So now I don't know if people use VSTs for their tube. I think it's called like a tubular bell, I believe. But I actually just have a sound. That's what I have. It's in our drum kit as well. Something I just use. So it's a very common sound. You hear it everywhere, especially in trap music. So if you guys are wondering where we get a lot of our snares, all these are our own stuff, including the 808, which we sell in our sound kit for $20 US. And it's on betaat.com/downloads. So it'll always be there if you guys have any troubles. Contact us. We also give out promotions through our emailing list. So sign up is free. You guys also get free beats. So I don't see why not. You guys would just go to betaat.com and sign up. All you need is your email, and you get like bonus stuff for free. I mean, it's a win-win thing. Actually, you guys are just winning. I mean, I'm giving away things for free. And good deals. But anyways, continuing on, we got same thing, piano 2. Now, since we're just focusing on here, let's go to the claps. Well, what do you know? Nothing special. Clap. Just not even in the mixer. No mixer state. Literally just a normal clap. You know why? Because we stacked it with this clap, which we actually did things to. Whoops. Didn't mean that. Go to track 9. Parametric equalizer. Cut out a decent amount of the bad end. There wasn't even much bad end, you can even see. Then we toss on a little reverb. So let's hear what that sounds like. So it has like a thickness. One clap is really just boosting in the other clap because the reverb clap is pretty light. It's a light clap. Now let's go to our snare. Now you can see we have a pattern system. We got one snare here, and then we got a different snare pattern. Then we just copy and paste. So I'm going to just show you with this. We did that. We copied it over into here. So just boom, boom. Now what this snare is this, I believe, and I was wrong. Here. Now I was listening to some of DJ L's beats, and I heard a lot of the things that I do, these roll-ups. So you can see we would have a clap right there, clap right there, clap right there. So that kind of adds this like bounce to it, and it makes it like, it kind of fools the listener into thinking that it goes really fast and it has these like drills. So we got pretty much a couple of those. Then over here we just, whoops, copy it, drag it down, and instead of like where these go up, it goes down. So let's listen. Now, it's debatable if DJ L really even does this. I just tossed it in there, because why not? It sounds like something that would go in there. Now the kicks, they're all the same. All these kicks are the same. There's only 2 different snare patterns. All the claps are the same. It's a really easy beat, in my opinion. It really doesn't take that long to make these type of beats. It's just the key part is getting the right sounds, getting everything to sound good. DJ L doesn't use, what I noticed is he uses a decent amount of Middle Eastern instruments as well as pianos and occasional arps and synths, but nothing over the top. Nothing like a TM88, and nothing. And he doesn't use these orchestral style stuff like how like Meek Mill beats would be like, where Meek Mill has like strings and all these crazy things. DJL doesn't really do that type of stuff. It's really pretty straightforward with how he does it. So here's a kick. Now we got two different kicks: a normal kick, a bass kick. Bass kick has more of a subby hit. Normal kick. So more of like a bump, and this has more like a thud sound. Now both the kick patterns, normal kick and bass kick, are the same exact thing. So if we were to play this, now toss on the crash right there, and before we go too far, snare, nothing on there. Kicks, oh yeah, this is on accident. I accidentally clicked something multiple times. Yeah, we don't need those. But parametric equalizer, multi-band compressor. We could probably toss on a normal compressor as well, but you know, whatever. Cymbal crash, that would be right here. Orchestral crash, parametric equalizer. Normally I would toss on a reverb as well, but you know, don't really need to. Now, with that gun and everything except the beat and except the 808, this is what it sounds like. Oh, no, lied. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds like a DJL or like Chicago type beat to me. Now, his 808s, I was even debating if he even had some 808s in some of his beats. They sounded, now it could have been just like some remakes or whatever I was listening to. Well, I mean, he definitely does have 808s, but they're not like 808s like Metro Boomin or TM88, where like the 808s like boom, like really like in your face, like it's just sort of like in there. And so the 808, it's just our normal 808 mixer state, which if you guys go buy our drum kit, we include pretty much every single mixer state. So it saves you a lot of the time of mixing. Now, of course, you kind of have to tweak some things in order to get the best sound on certain beats, but we got pretty much the best sound for our 808. Now, when we do our 808, we did a very easy way. What we did was pull up our kick right here, copy, paste. Make sure we turn down our attack. So normally this would come up. We bring up the envelope instrument settings, and we pull down that attack so it looks like this. And then what we do next is piano roll, Control A, Control L. Make sure you drag this one out. Doesn't ever do it. Now Control A, we're going to pull everything back a little bit. So now when we listen, so it stops and it doesn't drag out. And that was it, really. That's all we did to the 808. Toss it onto the mixer state, and boom, we got that. To toss on things on a mixer state, for those that don't know, and this is our first instrumental or beat, all you do is click this or click that, pull this up, right click, channel routing, root selected channel to this track. Another way you could do it is literally go right here, and up at around here it'll say target mixer track. Another way you could do it right there. There's like multiple ways to do it. It's really pretty simple. So we already discussed about the bell, the A4, D sharp, A sharp, and we have these fluctuating velocities, which is pretty much the fluctuating of the sound of the individual note, how hard you hit the note. So sorry that I didn't bring that up earlier. So let's go back and let's play it. And so when we have these, the piano 2 going with the piano, the normal piano, it really fills it up. It doesn't sound really empty. Whereas, of course, over here we have less sound going on, but it sounds a little bit more empty. As compared to like, it fills it up. Now, moving on to the second part of the chorus. Since all the drums and the piano, all this is the same until we get to the lead. And this, which this is just hi-hats. Hi-hats, this is what we did. Toss it on here. Because I was listening through a lot of his beats, and they didn't have a lot of the drill hi-hats like how Atlanta beats have, or Metro Boomin, TM88, like a lot of those guys. Yeah, I don't know about TM88 so much, but like how a lot of those guys have a lot of drilly hi-hats. Yeah, he didn't really have a whole bunch, and I was even debating if he even used a lot of hi-hats. So I didn't want to go overboard with it. And you can even see this is a hi-hat channel or track. I mean, we used it in very select parts. Really, I mean, but and then yeah, here's the lead. Now, what the lead is we pull up Nexus. We only use Nexus, and the reason why we only use Nexus is that tends to be probably the most common VST that's not image line, and that probably has the closest to professional sounding already. A lot of people will say, oh, don't use presets. I mean, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, as long as you can make something great out of it. But it's always good to know how to create your own sounds. Now, what we did was go to single layer leads, and then heads up. Lead heads up 9. Now it sounds a little bit different because we got a whole bunch of things on it. Toss it onto the mixer channel. Parametric equalizer. Knocked out a lot of those bad low end frequencies. Multi-band compressor, as always. An actual compressor, which I don't see anything that we even did to it. Now that I'm looking at it. Stereo enhancer. Separate the stereo. And pretty much what that does is kind of, so when you play sound, more than likely than not, it will play directly in your face. When I say in your face, if you have your monitors to your left side and your right side, like how you should. When I mean monitors, I mean your speakers, your professional, high-sounding speakers, studio speakers or whatever. When you do a stereo separation, it separates the sound to split more to the left and right rather than in the center. So it's pretty cool. Kind of did that to allow more room in the mid areas of the sound. It's really hard to explain some of this stuff because it's really just like technical magic, music magic. And then we toss on a little fruity chorus. Now, I normally wouldn't do chords for like a lead, like a single layer lead like this, like the stuff you hear in like a lot of electronic music. And as you can see, A4, D, A sharp, like stuff like that. So and we kind of have a different velocity level. It's a little bit lower than like the standard, which the standard's like right up here, 75%. never set up at 100%. But that was just for the pure sake of, I don't know, kind of creating something a little differentiation, I guess. I don't know. So you can see that we actually really don't even repeat. Like, it's not really even that big of a copy paste method. It actually kind of plays out as one whole thing. So instead of doing like how we normally do, of dragging this, copying it over there, we actually just continued making it. So and like using these keys, the A sharp, G, D sharp, etc., those are like the minor keys, I believe, and those keys can create tension and the dark atmosphere, and that's a key thing. I mean, when we listen to Chiraq drill music, we are not listening to happy-go-lucky change. We're talking about guns in your face, drugs, street crime, F the police type stuff. Like, that's what we're really talking about. So we have to get that feel. And so using a lead like this, the single layer lead, kind of adds that little edginess when we do that. Now, the main reason why I put it in here and over here is because I wanted to make the chorus a little bit different. Like, so this part would be like the basic chorus as we discussed earlier, and this is the main chorus where the artist just pretty much repeats the title of the song, usually. And usually when they do simpler lyrics, you have more of a complex beat, because then if you have a more complex beat, it allows more room for the vocals. So chorus pretty much is a simple thing that they repeat, just make it catchy. Then the verse, you open up more space. So you see we have actually like more space area, like more areas that allow the rapper to actually speak and his voice to be open. So that's pretty much it. We have the crash as well. I mean, halfway through. So not skipping, but moving on to the next part where we got this part. Guess you could say the first third of the verse. And to avoid copy paste, what we did was pretty much, we did copy paste, but we grabbed most of these, moved them over here, took out piano 2 completely. Piano 2 is a simple one, so we have the chord piano, which is piano, just normal piano, and then when piano 2 is like the subtle piano that adds extra texture and extra depth to the instrument. Then we have the bell right here, but we cut it off short. So if we were just to grab this and cut it like that, literally, that's all we did. Same thing with the gun, same exact gun pattern. Now the clap is the same, both claps right there, and then we just copied the first snare over here, so that we don't have this snare, the roll drill snare. We actually have that kind of at the ending parts. So there's an ending part, there's an ending part. What I mean by ending part, so there's 2, boom, right there, boom, right there, ending parts. And then crash, we just got 1 crash instead of 2 right here. And since the leads are only played in the chorus, we don't have the leads anywhere in the verse, nowhere in the verse. And the hi-hats are not in here at all until right here, go up to here. No 808s, because we come in from 808s to go out, because if we had 808s throughout the whole thing, then kind of loses its bang, and we want it to bang out. Now DJ L might have 808s playing throughout his whole beat, or he might not, just differentiates. I mean, not when a producer produces a beat, he doesn't follow the same rule every single time. So now we're going on to the second part. Pretty much, we copy paste this, moved it over here. Tossed on another gun segment right here to remind you guys. I actually lied earlier. No, I didn't. So here's the guns. Here's the bells. Here's the piano. Here's the piano too. We have pretty much everything like how the chorus does over here, except we have these hi-hats and we don't have the lead. So hi-hat's the same. Oh, and what you know, we got the drill snare, because it's really marking the end of this part going on to this part, which we go back to the regular snare right here. Regular snare, drill snare. Now this is a third of the third part. So the last part of the verse, in which we just completely take out the chord piano, and we have the 808, the hi-hat, pretty much the same thing as this, but we extended all the gun parts. So we just copy the gun part we got there and put it in there. Rather than having these short two gun blasts, we have more of the gun blasts, which the guns are key for this DJL style. Because honestly, we could probably turn this into most other trap producers, but those guns, I mean, you hear his guns every single time. And so we took out the chord piano. Now we got this subtle piano. The hi-hats as well, 808s, same 808s. Now, before we get to the next part, which is right here, that's where we have actually a little bit of change. Main reason why we took out these chord pianos, to remind you, which is this. Main reason why we took out those chord pianos is because, well, if we really kept them throughout, it's gonna get annoying. And also, how can you tell which part is the chorus and verse? So taking out those pianos leaves up this openness in which when the rapper is rapping, he's like, okay, well, I remember listening to the beat, and when I don't hear these chord pianos, it is the last part of the verse. And so once I get and start hearing these drill things, then I'm really getting close. Once we get up right here, oh, boom, you got that stutter effect. Really common in DJL styles. Now, doing those stutter effects and the tape down and all that, that's usually done in the actual mixing and mastering process, or the recording session, doing those effects. I don't really even do that when I make my beats. I do it occasionally, but like, because I feel like if I don't do it on some beats, that it just doesn't really sound that interesting. So I just toss it in to make it a little bit of flavor. And since we're doing the DJL style, most DJL's beats have that stutter, might as well do it. So and you can do this a lot of different ways, but what I thought was the easiest way was we zoomed in, we just grabbed the gun, so we're going to click that down, drag it that, and put it in there. And we would do that for all of them. So here's a orchestral crash, boom, move it up. Just like pretty much that easy. Like grab that normal kick, cut it right there, boom. So we did the thing that we did a stutter on were the clap, the normal clap, not the reverb clap. Clap 2 is that clap with the reverb. So we just did the normal clap. But we stacked it with the gun, the bell, kick, kick, crash, and the 808. So it sounds like this. And we go straight into the chorus, which is copied and pasted over there. So, I mean, it's really not that hard to make this style. I honestly think most trap beats are pretty easy to make once you get the hang of creating with the melody. The melody is the hard part, as well as figuring out the sound. And I just listened to a whole bunch of DJL right before I made this, so I'm like thinking, alright, well, I need the gun, I need the crash, I need the clap, I need the snare. Don't need to do a whole bunch of the hi-hat drills. 808s don't really seem like they're that crazy. I could be wrong, but like, didn't really stand out, so do a pretty average 808. Definitely use a piano because most of his beats were pianos. However, he had other beats that had completely different sounds, especially in Ballin' Like I'm Kobe and Lil Herb's mixtape where he had East Side, where I believe those were samples, where like saying like East Side and like coming from the East Side and stuff like that. And there was a couple other songs, but if you listen to Gang on Ballin' Like I'm Kobe, Lil Herb with Lil Bibby as a feature, I mean, man, it's pretty similar to this. So I mean, I didn't hear a lot of strings when I listened to a lot of DJ L. There might be like a subtle strings in there, but I don't want to teach you guys the wrong things, and I don't want to overcomplicate the beat. If this is the style that you guys were wanting, then awesome. But if you guys were wanting that sample style, then we might cover that as well. Just put it in the description, and we'll try to keep track and go over all the tutorials. But I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, yeah, I'm just trying to look. I mean, we have these roll-up snares. We got the claps. We got the piano. We got the chord, like that eerie. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't need to bust out any of those Beethoven stuff. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Thumbs up, like, subscribe, share. Have a wonderful day.